Welcome back to my channel. It is now time for the Week 10 NFL Power Rankings, and as always, I'll give you the top 10 teams in the NFL. Starting off with number 10, I have the Denver Broncos. Yes, they did win this week. They're, of course, a lot better than everyone thought. Their defense is really good. However, their defense didn't look that good against Jameis Winston and the Browns. It is a bit of a question. Is Jameis Winston just that good? Or is the Broncos defense maybe a little banged up and injured at this point of the year? Of course, the Broncos defense did have 2 pick sixes. Can't complain with that. They did give up 32 points. And they are 8-5 now. They should have beat the Chiefs a few weeks ago. They are a very good team, a very complete team. No, I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs because they just don't have that star power, but yes, they will make the playoffs. Then at number 9, this is a team that is very, very similar to the Broncos. And why, yes, that is because they're in the same division. That is the Chargers. They are just like the Broncos. They're just like the Broncos, but they are a little bit better. Their defense is a little bit better. Their coach is a little bit better. Their quarterback is a lot better. It's kind of how it is. This past week, without J.K. Dobbins, their offense really hurt, but they still did find a way to win. They beat the Broncos earlier in this year, so of course they have to be above the Broncos. I do think they have a higher ceiling with, of course, Herbert versus Bo Nix. The one thing they need is a true number 1 wide receiver, and unfortunately, there's none on the waiver wire, so they won't get one this year. At number 8 is one of the most talented teams in the NFL, especially on offense, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. Everyone keeps on talking about how good they are, how great they are, how great Lamar is, how great Derrick Henry is, but they just keep on losing. They are 8-5, not that impressive of a record. They're going to make the playoffs because the AFC is not that deep, but it's not like they're really fighting for their division with Pittsburgh, and they've just lost so many games that I can't trust them. They just don't seem to have it this year, whether it comes down to something like Justin Tucker, or, I don't know, maybe it's Lamar versus good teams. I can't put my finger on it, but they just don't seem to have it this year. At number 7 is the Minnesota Vikings. This is a very complete team. Of course, their defense is one of the best coached defenses in the NFL. Their offense is okay. They have a good running game. They have Justin Jefferson. They have the weapons. Their quarterback, Sam Darnold, is pretty up and down. He's a little shaky. And while, yes, they are 10-2, I can't actually believe it. They're still 10-2. They still keep on winning games. But the Cardinals should have beat them this week. The Cardinals are not a good team, and the Cardinals just kind of fumbled it away. So, while yes, they are 10-2, I've just not been that impressed by the Vikings. If they keep on winning, they will move up the rankings, of course. Then at number 6 is the Green Bay Packers. The reason they are above the Vikings is because I trust their quarterback so much more than Sam Darnold. While he's not that proven, he is more proven than Sam Darnold. They have had some injuries on the offense, and they are starting to come back, such as Romeo Doubs. Josh Jacobs has had an excellent year, all around a good team, and their defense, I think, is underrated. Well, no, it's not the Vikings defense, but it is still a good defense. Then at number 5, this is as low as they've been this year, and we'll see if they keep on falling, but that is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 11-1. However, it feels like they should be 6-6. They should have lost to the Raiders. They should have lost to the Broncos. They should have lost to so many different teams, but they just keep on winning. If they keep on winning in the playoffs, I'm not going to be shocked, but I had to call it how I see it. They look just like the Eagles last year who fell apart at the end of the year, and these seem to be kind of fraudulent wins throughout this season, but Mahomes does have some magic, and the referees working by his side. At number 4 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won a shootout versus the Bengals, and this is proving one thing for them that they needed to prove, and that is that they can actually win a shootout. They don't need defensive touchdowns and a bunch of turnovers and sacks to win a game. Instead, now their offense can go out, throw for 400 yards, rush for 75 yards with Najee, put up a bunch of touchdowns, 44 points, and win against a divisional team that is fighting for their life. Very impressive Steelers win. And the top 4, no one thought they would be there to start this year off, yet here they are. At number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles. a very impressive win this week versus the Ravens. They just shut them down. And if you look at the score, you see 24-19, you're like, oh, it's a close game. If you watched it, this was not a close game. The Ravens scored a touchdown with almost no time left. I think it was 10 seconds. And Lamar Jackson got about half of his yards on that drive. The Eagles were up by 2 scores. They weren't that concerned. They just didn't want to give up a huge play and fumbled the game away. But it was really 24-12. That's what I consider the real score. There's just some garbage time points to make the Ravens feel better. But the Eagles defense has been one of the best in the NFL. They've had some injuries to overcome, but so far they have done it. And their offense just does what needs to be done. They run the ball very well, and Jalen Hurts is efficient and does not make mistakes. And that's all you need if you have a great running game and defense. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing for more content. But back to the video. At number 2, you might be a little surprised because they're everyone's favorite team. That is the Detroit Lions. I have them at number 2. They should have lost to the Bears. They should have at least went to overtime versus the Bears. And while yes, their offense is extremely talented, they only put up 23 points against the Bears, who are a decent defense, but not anything amazing. But the reason why they're not number 1 is that the Lions defense is decimated with injuries. They are absolutely destroyed, and you saw it in the second half where the Bears put up 20 points, and the Bears offense is not that good. So, while yes, they have looked amazing, they have had a good offense and defense, but the injuries have piled up, and I have to deduct them some, especially when there's an amazing team in Buffalo. At number 1, the Buffalo Bills. At number 1, the Buffalo Bills, they have been blowing everybody out. Their defense looks really, really good, and their offense somehow looks better. Josh Allen is pretty clearly the MVP right now if it ends today, even though Saquon, cross your fingers, maybe he'll win it, but this is a QB award, and Josh Allen has had an MVP-worthy season, so to be honest, right now, he would win it if the season ended. Unfortunately for Saquon. But if you have an MVP quarterback, a good running game, and a very good defense, you're the number 1 team in the NFL. They're 10-2, and they just look great. Although, I will say, any of the top 4 teams, really, you can rearrange them however you want, in my opinion. The Bills, Lions, Eagles, Steelers, you can rearrange them however you want, and I wouldn't call you crazy, unless maybe I have a little bit of a hard time with the Steelers at number 1, but I could see it. I could see the reason. So anyways, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. What is your top 10 NFL teams going into week 14? And I will see you later.